They're all heroes. They're all heroes. But my family story is a bit different. Whereas, and I'll try and do this as quick as possible because I know we're running out of time, but 100 years ago, in a little village in Pondos, the men were summoned to meet in the center of the village, and the soldiers came. They thought they were being drafted or conscripted, but the soldiers came up and dragged them away or escorted them away. They were never to be seen again. My great-grandfather would have been in that lot, and his bones are probably somewhere in a mass grave in the middle of Anatolia. We think we can assume that's what happened. But my great-grandmother, she was warned by two people. Pack up your things and go. We're concerned about your safety. My grandmother's response was something like, "Oh, it's all right, they're going to come. If they do come, the soldiers will give them a couple of gold coins. They'll probably trash the place up a bit. We've seen this before, and we'll see them again in 5 years' time." However, so she didn't take the advice. Eventually, the soldiers did come into the village, and these two men came and grabbed my grandmother and my grandfather, my great-grandmother and my grandfather, and dragged them upstairs. And they have a double-story house. They were dragged up. The story goes that they went up to the top floor, and they threw them in a closet. They then proceeded to grab all the clothes and blankets off the bed and put them next to the two windows. Tipped over a lantern, the fuel out of the lantern, and lit a fire. They went downstairs as the Turkish soldiers were coming. They were outside the house, and they kind of said, the soldiers could see that the windows, there was fire in the top floor, and these two gentlemen said, "No, she's gone, there's nothing in there, and we've burnt the place down so she don't come back." Something on those lines. I feel this party, so I don't know what they said, but they did make the soldiers go away. Upon the soldiers doing what they did to hundreds of villages, which is turn the village into their version of hell on earth, upon leaving the village, these two gentlemen grabbed my grandmother, my great-grandmother, and my grandfather, and escorted them through the forest, through the hills, until they found a larger group of refugees. When they joined that group of refugees, they said farewell, and these two men told my great-grandmother, "When this madness blows over, don't worry, come back and your house will be safe. We're going to look after it." She never saw him again. I don't know the surname of these two gentlemen, but my family does know their first names, Abdul and Muhammad. They were her neighbours. So like a lot of people here have stories and have heard stories about who saved who and who are their heroes. And I ask this question: who are my family's heroes? And I want everyone to think about this. Turkish civilians. And I could also put the claim that they're probably bigger heroes than many others, because they had nothing to gain from this, nor were they trained, nor were they armed. And if they got caught, they would have suffered the worst outcome than anyone. So I want everyone to think about that, because on our quest going forward, I don't want us ever to lose sight that, there are heroes everywhere. So on that note, I think I'll finish off. Thank you very much for your time. But I would like to call the committee of the Pontian Genocide committee up here, please, if you can. And while they're making their way up here, I just want to say to Mr. George Daniki, and I do remember you from my youngest years, and yeah, you were an inspiration to all of us. My family didn't get the news from Channel 9, or we got it from George Daniki. So I just want to say what an honour and a privilege it was for me, and I bet for many of us, to have you here with us tonight. And thank you very much for that. And we want to, I'll let Maria.
Can we just turn that
Mr. Vicken, can you come in please so we can have a presentation? Όσα κορακό Παναγιώτη Διαμάντη.
Για τις φωτογραφίες.
Doctor Paragon.
Oh, Doctor.
Yes. And last but not least, Mr. George Denikian.
Thank you.
Alright, let's get a group photo. Can we have a group photo? We're just gonna group photo.
Sure, absolutely.